Just sit down, take a chew and chew my money till we get. Wall, let it cool, was ain't talking. Money speak, all that bullshit, keep. Run the side, run the side, run.
I never understood when modern white people, like the middle class white people, say make America great again. America has never been great for regular white people. It has never been. Even if we saw in the time of like the colonial era, a lot of these poor white people, they never had as much of things that rich white people had. Like even if you research the Bacon's Rebellion, it's a rebellion that white people fought and they was fighting alongside black slaves. But at that point in time, rich white people didn't want that to happen again, so they coined the term white. So now these middle-class white people, or these poor white people, now they can't be as good as the rich white people or the elite, but at least they're not black. So now they couldn't have property, they couldn't, be as rich, but now the upper class, the elite, they gave them things like becoming a slave catcher, doing stuff like that to be in the system but not really benefit from the system. So especially starting from that standpoint to like the westward expansion, the industrial period, Civil War, post-Civil War, all this, Americans has been struggling, but they have always been over black people. So I think when people say make America great again, they just want to make sure that black and Hispanic people get back in their place.
Right. You think it has more to do with how black and Hispanic people have rised up in this society.
Right.
It's less to do with like the goodness of a white person's life and more to do with how much better a black or brown person's life might be. Is that right?
Yeah, because even like I really don't know what time period they're referencing, because like even when we talk about the Jim Crow or the South, after the Civil War, the South got really poor. The South got really poor after the Civil War, and it was so funny, the people who was fighting in the Civil War for the South were white people who wanted to still have slavery intact.
Yeah.
But they themselves, they didn't even have slaves.
My family fought for the Confederates, and they were nowhere close to having slaves.
So
it was purely ideology.
See?
It was purely like, we're not going to let them guys.
So like,
it's 100% ideology.
And that's the crazy part, right?
Yeah.
Like they're fighting for something they can't even partake in. It just shows how much the hatred is for that special group of people.
Right.
I think yes and no, because also like you've heard it before where it's like Americans have this idea that they're not poor, they're just not rich yet. And so I think a lot of white people, sure, a lot of white people have pure nothing but hatred in their heart. But some white people, I think, especially ones that wanted to fight for the Confederates and shit like that, it was less about I'm going to keep black people down and more of like I just want to make sure I still have this opportunity. Which kind of comes from the same place.
They didn't even have opportunities because the very thing they was fighting for was the reason why they was poor.
Yeah.
Like you fighting for slavery to be intact, but those slaves are the ones who have your job.
Yeah.
Like if you a rich white man, why in the hell would I go hire a regular white man who's demanding more pay? I just go get the Hispanics to do the work.
Yeah.
But the regular white men, they mad about it, so they trying to ship the Hispanics off, which is why I don't even think like what Donald Trump is doing is real. It's just a bluff.
Yeah.
Because he knows, like even Donald Trump, I think his Trump Tower, he had illegal immigrations built in his Trump Tower.
Oh yeah.
So it's like the price to get that illegal that work, the pay is, you can't outbeat it, and I don't think that regular white people understand that.
Trump's big thing for a while too was like, oh, I don't want jobs going over to China. And there's this really funny clip in like 2015 where he goes on like Letterman or Conan or some shit, and they're like, oh, you don't want jobs in China, and they show this is the Donald Trump tie made in China. And his kind of defense was like, well, yeah, it's because regulations mean that it's easier for me to make money there. I want to change that. So some people that are into like the whole like right wing economics thing,
America great.
They go like, oh, we really do need to stop sending jobs over there, over other places.
Who would you say is the better Republican? Would it be Ronald Reagan or Donald Trump?
Man, I think they're both fake conservatives. I think my mom's a true conservative, right? Where it's like she wants like a heavy welfare system, personal responsibility, but also full bodily autonomy. But she wants a strict, semi but not very regulated capitalistic system. And I think someone like Reagan came in and said, I think that, but then actually just wanted to sell out to the super rich. They wanted to make, because they, right before Reagan, we did for-profit prisons, right? Like Reagan was a big part of creating for-profit prisons so they could have a free labor base, a free, well, not free, but as close as it could get, know?
Because Reagan is like the god to most Republicans.
They love him.
But like Reagan had a total different outlook on the economy when it came to trading with other countries. Like this is how Reaganomics, how other people start getting rich. Making money off of different countries because the trade is cheap now. Like getting the products and whatnot. Now Trump, he's trying to make all these terrorists make it like, okay, we need to deal with America, like domestic trade, like deal with each other. But now it's like that's one of the reasons why the Great Depression happened. Majority, a lot of different reasons, but that reason right there was one of the things that made the Great Depression happen, because you just can't do it. Even though it sounds good on paper, you just can't do it.
Do you guys know what Reagan's known for in California?
What he's known for?
He took our guns. The Black Panthers went and marched at the Sacramento Capitol with guns, and they said, we're not having that. And Huey P. Newton was a law student. That was his thing, was he was like, no, we can legally carry arms. The reason the Second Amendment became popular as a way to carry arms because Huey P. Newton went to the law library and said, hey, we're doing a People's Self-Defense Committee. We're walking around with guns. And then did the whole political stance. There's a great photo that was on the front page of the Sacramento Bee of like 5 or 6 Panthers armed up just in like a fantastic. Then they get stopped by the cops on the way home and there's a standoff. And Reagan said, no way, dude. He goes, we are not going to let those guys have guns. That is the end of this.
Yeah, I heard some politician, he made a joke. He was like saying how that if the school shooters, if they was black or Hispanic, they would have been fixed this issue.
Oh, really? Yeah. Thanks.
Well, at the same time, I mean, why hasn't severe gang violence been fixed when that's the...
Well, gang violence is just the offset of what it really means to be American. Like American, what's the colors the gangs have right now? Like blue and red, right? That's the colors of the American flag.
red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue. Yeah, right? And right now, Democrat and Republican, they hate each other. The Democrats and Republicans hate each other. They had an entire civil war. White on white crime. So gang violence is just people being true Americans in my eyes.
I would say the same thing about school shooters, though. I think school shooters are a result of a very sick system of society, you know, teaching people bad values, and also a mix of like federals going into weird discords and tricking autistic kids into being Nazis. Like I think that's a part of it too. But like I think they're both just systematic things, right? Whether it's black people killing each other in a black neighborhood or white people shooting up a school, both of those inactions of violence don't exist in a vacuum. Both of those, you know, violent actions are something that is like a cause and effect style thing, you know, for different reasons, but economic.
Yeah, I think the different reason is because one is really off of poverty and being played in the system, rather than people who's going up and shooting up schools. It's really how the government reacts to different things. So if I talk about gang violence, which we totally disagree with, right? We don't condone it either way. But the thing is, when we see gang violence, it's like, oh, these people killing each other, we shouldn't give them no money, nothing like this. Meanwhile, if a kid shoots up a school, now it's like, oh man, he's sick in the head. Yeah. We gotta give him help. Let's study his brain. He had a horrible brain. Why nobody's doing that to the black people in the hood doing the exact same thing?
I agree, yeah.
There's no remorse for them. It's just, these people are evil people.
Right, thugs.
Thugs. Good night. Good night. Don't let nobody get a felony.
Right.
I think that, you know, the response definitely you see, you know, unbridled racism in the response to those types of violence, but I think both of those violence are a result because of societal things. I don't think, you know, even black people are violent or white people are violent. I think violence exists as a response to either poverty, social issues, but...
Well, I know, man. White people are violent.
You think white people are more violent than black people?
Historically, yeah.
Historically? Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Just because of what happened. Like, we talk about the wars, we talk about slavery, Trail of Tears, Native Indians, they just, even we talk about the Holocaust, those are white people doing that.
Right.
You know, white people have a tremendous record of crime and violence. Like, the president right now, he's a criminal.
Oh, yeah.
He's a criminal. He's a big criminal, so...
I think every president's been a criminal.
Yeah, so it's like, it's really hypocrisy. Like, our standpoint is like, everything's hypocrisy when it comes to black people. Yeah. Like you mentioned about the guns. When... say a white boy shoots up a school, it's like, okay, they're saying the guns are the issue. Most people get upset about that, so we need to control guns. People can't have all this access to guns. Right. When black people shoot each other, they do some type of crime, who's the issue? It's not the guns no more.
Right, it's not the guns.
It's the people.
It's the nation.
It's the nation of people.
At the same time, like, do you remember when Chicago made it? Because, like, Illinois, I can have a gun, right? But until recently in Chicago, the city, I couldn't have a gun. And that was legislation that was built around trying to prevent what I don't call it black on black crime, but like what's typically referred to as black on black crime or gang violence, or because a lot of that stuff that's called gang violence, it's not, man. It's random people that were driving past two people that were arguing. You know what I mean? A lot of that stuff that's called gang violence is like that's less gang violence and more, you know.
And it's so crazy too, because like when black people do it, it's like when we say gang violence, everybody look at that as so negative, which it is. But if you go in the street, a lot of these kids got nicknames, and their nicknames is based off of what? Italian mobsters, people who's in the mob. Like, this is where they get this culture from, is like them. But when you go look into the mafia or the mob, whatever you would call it, these people are glorified. I don't know too many. What's some names? What's a famous?
Al Capone.
Yeah, see, these
Al
people,
Capone,
oh my God, Al
Gadai.
Capone? People want to be like him.
The amount of Scarface t-shirts I've seen where it's like, that guy's cool? Was Scarface a real guy?
Scarface was not a real guy.
He was not a real guy, but he was in that movie. Say hello to my little friend.
Scarface was Cuban. He wasn't white.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. I consider Cubans white. Are Cubans Israelites?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
What tribe of Israelites are Cubans?
Manessa.
Manessa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What tribe are like y'all?
Well, we're from Judah.
Yeah, Judah.
Judah?
Negroes.
Okay.
Most of the Negroes here in America that came off the slave ships, they are typically Judites. But because we all got the different shades of brown, you might see somebody who looks like us and he might be a Native Indian. Or he might be a Cuban, or he might be a Puerto Rican. So it's really, we don't base off of skin color,
Right.
but basically, you know, where you're from, where the boat stopped at.
Right.
Because it wasn't just a whole bunch of people they took, and they kind of like knew who they was taking different places to do the certain jobs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I know I want somebody to work in my farm, I'm gonna go get the Mexicans.
Yeah.
That's how white people think. You know what I mean? So they knew how to
That is how I
use
think.
us. See, they know how to use us for our best qualities.
When I went to Mexico and I saw the airport there, I was like, did we take all the Mexicans from Mexico? Because this airport is dog shit. And I was like, do you know who built our beautiful airport? Mexican people. What's going on here? I couldn't believe it. I landed in Mexico City, and it looked like the airport was put together on the first draft. And I was like, dude, I know who could do this, fix this. Like 40 Mexicans I know could make this place beautiful. I don't know what's going on there.
Now see the hat, man. The hat.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Mexicans make America great.
Absolutely.
It's very true.
Yeah, man. I was watching this video, man. I don't know if y'all seen it. It was this dude. He's a famous YouTuber, but he was going to he be trolling like Trump supporters, and they was asking Trump supporters like why they don't want illegal immigrants here, and a lot of them was saying because they don't pay taxes or what was it, right? And I never heard you know about the fact about the Social Security, but they put in like what
27.5
billion into Social Security, but they can't take it out.
Yeah.
That's just an insane.
It's crazy that people think that I don't know if you want to call me legal, undocumented. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's like calling a homeless person houseless. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But it's insane that people think that those people don't pay taxes.
Right.
It's like, yeah, you ever bought a piece of gum? You fucking retard.
Yeah.
What did you pay when you bought the piece of gum?
Right.
Taxes, my man. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy to me that people
Man,
think
I don't
that.
understand. Like, it takes so much energy to be that hateful.
Yeah.
Because my thing is this, like, how would you know if somebody says we have illegal immigrants here, the first thing you're going to do is just look for the nearest Mexican. When white people are immigrants.
Yeah.
Trump's grandfather, he was a legal immigrant.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. Elon Musk,
Right.
he's from Africa, right?
Yeah.
Right.
South Africa.
How?
goodness.
What do you guys think about Elon Musk? As
my
far as like him considering himself African, what do you guys think about that?
Elon Musk, man, he makes me laugh when it comes down to like Trump supporters. A lot of these Trump supporters, there's a trend going on TikTok right now where they regret voting for Trump.
Okay.
Or they would say, we voted for Trump, we didn't vote for Elon. Right?
Okay.
So Elon, has a real, first of all, he's really dumb. First of all, I'll say that.
Right.
But he has a real hatred for America.
I think so. Yeah.
He has a real hatred for America. He gets in office, he's trying to, first of all these people lose their jobs, these federal workers lose their jobs because he's digging down.
Yeah.
Right? They voted
Crazy.
for Trump because he was going to give more jobs, more job security.
Yeah.
Now people are losing jobs. Elon Musk, you remember when he did that Hail Hitler thing?
Yeah, that was wild, right?
That was wild,
Would you
right?
get caught dead doing that?
Just-
Not in a million years,
Yeah.
right? That's
And
crazy,
he
right?
did it with so much zeal.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. How many Americans died fighting in that war to save the Jewish people?
Right.
And he puts that up. Like, how disrespectful are you to the American people?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. He just...
That does lead me to one of the questions I had as far as like, well, I guess it's a two-part question. The Holocaust occurred, and we typically talk about how it occurred against Jewish people as the main victim. In your guys' ideology, do you think it's the Jews that we consider that like mainstream culture would call Jews today, or do you guys think it's the Jews as in you guys that were,
That was...
Holocausted?
I mean, what happened to the Jewish people, they did go through that traumatic experience.
Right.
But that, even in itself, was not something that the children of Israel was going to go through.
Okay, so you think that at that point, that was already, like, they were fake Jews?
Yeah, that was already...
Okay.
fake. Yeah.
Do you guys have, like, a rough estimation as to when, like, non-Jews became Jews in y'all's eyes? Because
Oh, my goodness.
the way
It
I
was-
understand it from our
it's
last
not-
conversation is that those people are not children of Israel.
Right.
They have taken that as, like, some sort of lie, right?
It's a religion. It's like they were more religious.
Okay.
I was talking to this Jewish person the other day, yesterday, right? He said that most Jewish people don't even really believe in God.
They don't.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, they eat pork and
Yeah,
shrimp. They,
all
they
that.
break all the laws of the
So-
You guys keep kosher.
Yeah,
Right.
we keep all that. So with them though, they became the only reason why they have Judaism is because they didn't want to be subject under the Christians and under Islam.
Okay.
I wish I could have got the name of the book. Everything we saying, of course, we got to we could quote it from a book.
We can put it in the show notes,
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
if you
yeah.
guys want.
So yeah, I'll do that for y'all. So it showed that they really just became that because at that time, like the church and the state, you only had power based on what religion you were. So they was like, okay, we're gonna become Christians, then you be subject unto the Christians.
Right.
And we become Muslims, then we be subject unto the Muslims. Let's just start our own thing called Judaism.
Okay.
Right. So after that, and Hitler also, I think I mentioned this last time. There's a book. Hitler was having like a whole bunch of like pictures showing that they call him the Jew the bastard, and it had it had like pictures of like how the Jews were black, how they left black. Then they had the modern Jew today, and he was white. And it was saying like, yo, this is not the real Jew.
Okay.
So I think right now, even if you do your research, it shows that they have European stock.
Right.
Yeah. So the only reason why they was in Israel right now is because after what happened to them in the Holocaust, they was placed in that land because they understood that you can't live in the same land that somebody committed this atrocity to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Meanwhile, black people here, we in the same land that all this slavery happened to us.
Now, you guys believe that like Mexican or Hispanic people, Native Americans, black people, Cubans, stuff like that, all tribes of Judah, how'd they get all over the place? Like, how come when Europeans first got to the U.S., we didn't bring any slaves yet, and then what, it was like 80 years or something, then we brought slaves over, but Native American people were already here.
Right.
How does that? Can you guys help me? Like, do you guys? How does that make sense?
Okay, so the Native Indians are the Northern Kingdom tribes, we call them, which are like Hispanics, Native Indians, like Guatemala. You know, you got Panamanians, you got all Native Indians, you got everybody South America and all them people.
Right.
My brother brought up about Cubans and everything. These people, at one time we was in like the Assyrian captivity, and they got into captivity, but they was placed outside their land, and they was scattered from Israel. But then later on, if you go into what was it, Second Esdras?
Second Esdras.
Yeah, Second Esdras, it talks about how they left to a new land that no man knew to go follow their laws and cultures of God.
Right.
So when you really get to the history about how they was living in South America or in Americas, a lot of these people was trying to keep the cultures of God.
Okay.
So like you have them, like you see Native Indians with them fringes on and stuff like that with borders of blue. That's all come from the culture of the children of Israel.
Right.
So that's how they got to these lands. I think some people talk about the Bering Strait theory,
Right.
which is just nonsense.
Now we think it was a coastal walk.
Yeah, it's crazy. They took boats and crossed to the lands, crossed the waters, and got to the Americas, so South America and everything like that.
And this is like in when
this is,
roughly?
This is old. I'm talking about, I don't know, when you gotta look at when the Assyrian captivity was.
Okay.
Right.
So it's like, how many years? Like I don't want to say 1,000. Is it like 1,000 years before Christ? Not
Why?
1,000, like what?
I believe so.
About a couple hundred years.
I want to preface this by saying I believe some crazy stuff. I literally worship a carpenter that lived 2,000 years ago. But why does mainstream science generally disagree with the possibility of people being able to take boats over here 1,000 years ago? What's the kind
I
of...
don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I
You
don't understand
understand
people
that?
who disagree with that be the same people who's religious.
Yeah?
I
Really?
They believe in Noah's Ark.
Uh-huh.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Come on, man. Yeah.
They believe in Noah's Ark, but they won't believe that people traveled across the waters.
Right.
They believe that Moses split the Red Sea. God can't still the waters to have his chosen people come to the different land.
Right.
I mean, no. People like to limit God. I like to say that. That's what
Right.
Christians tell me. You limit God.
Now, the Mormons are what's considered an apocalyptic religion, right? In their ideal world, there comes some final day, some apocalypse, some big battle where the Mormons have full reign over the world, and we all serve the Mormons or convert, right? And you guys have a similar ideology, right? And I think a lot of religions have an apocalyptic end to their religion, to where the in-group is now in control, right?
Well, so the Mormons are those the people that believe in like this one dude that white
Joseph
dude,
Smith, yeah.
Joseph Smith.
They actually still have a prophet to this day. They've always had a living prophet since Joseph Smith first came out.
Mormons are just Christians.
Right.
Christians since Christians hate each other, they like to just shit on each other.
Right.
But Mormons don't believe nothing different than Christians believe in. If Christians see the Book of Revelation, the things that we say, I never understood. Most people call us racist, right? Or say we a hate group. Everything we say is out the Bible. Imagine that. So everything we say that means Christians should agree with it.
I will say, I don't know if it was you guys in particular, but I have heard a group of ISUPK people just screaming at women that they're whores on the street.
Oh my goodness, man.
Is that true?
Man, shoot, who knows, man? They whores, they whores.
Is that okay? So you guys would say that's protected biblical? I mean, obviously protected
yeah,
speech
is.
USA,
Yeah,
but
well,
you would say that's a biblical thing, as to
Hell yeah. Maybe
help me understand that if you don't
If
mind.
you go to the book of first, we couldn't even lay with whores. This is law.
Right.
Okay.
The Bible says you can't even lay with a whore.
Do you call them goyim? Do you call them goy?
We call them Gentiles.
Okay,
But
Gentiles.
We don't even really. Yeah, Gentiles has context. We get in the New Testament. To back up though, to answer your question, Christ in the New Testament, he called a white woman a dog.
Yeah,
Right.
the Samaritan, right?
Yeah, he called her a dog.
That was a slur for those
well, not
people
the
at the time
Samaritan,
too.
the Canaanite woman.
Yes, that was a slur for them at the time,
Yeah,
right?
it's like calling a woman a bitch. So
Sure.
that's Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior. So, calling a woman a whore is just, if she's a whore, she's a whore.
Right.
A whore is just somebody who just goes out and sleep with multiple men. You know what I mean? So people think that because the idea that God loves everybody, it's a shame to call somebody a whore. It's just your name that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? So it's
And
like,
you guys believe Jesus as the Messiah.
right.
But do you think he's the only Messiah? Or do you think there's more Messiahs to come?
Nobody could go through to God except through Christ.
Okay.
Right.
So
And
he's the Lord of Lords, King of Kings. So nobody else gonna come after him.
and obviously, I'm a Methodist, right? So when we hear John 3:16, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him will have eternal life.
Right.
That to me, you're smiling. That to me,
I'm gonna tell you why because that's like the
well,
number
that
one.
to me means that, obviously at one point there was a covenant between Israel and God, and then it seems like the idea of the New Testament is that everyone's welcome.
Yeah. That's
Where am I wrong? How are you going?
It's because the New Testament is like if I was to come up in here and I write a piece of paper, right? I'd be like, hey, I love all y'all. All y'all, I would die for everybody. I'll put it in a room, apply it to everybody in this room. Somebody a group of people come down and look at this note, like, oh, look, he would die for all of us.
Okay.
Good night.
But here's the thing, even if you go in John 3:16, and this is why my problem with Christians is that they don't believe in the Bible, they believe in things that benefit them.
Right.
Jesus Christ said, I pray not for the world, I pray for them, I pray not for the world. That's what he says. So how can in one instance that he died for the world but don't even want to pray for the entire world? But if you look into John 3:16, when it says the world, that world doesn't mean an age or society.
Okay.
If you go into the book of Isaiah, the 45th chapter, it talks about which world he was talking about, which was Israel. That's why he came and died, because those are the people who needed him to die, to make it, for him to become the mediator between Israel and God.
And if I could piggyback what he's saying, like, Christianity has taken like words like world and made it mean everybody.
Okay.
But when Christopher Columbus sailed to the Americas, he said he discovered the what?
The new world.
New world, yeah.
You got the Sea World. You got
SeaWorld,
you got all these different worlds. But we always
Disney
equate.
World.
Jesus died for SeaWorld.
Yeah, it's just weird how we use this word.
And it's so crazy though, because Christians don't even believe that either.
Right.
Christians, when they say Jesus Christ died for the world, you know what Christians think? American Christians, they think about the USA.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
They do not
I think that's common.
They do not think about what's going down in Palestine. They don't think about them. Even if you're a Muslim, right? If Jesus Christ died for the whole entire world, and they say nothing about what religion you are or what your beliefs are, it's the whole entire world. These Americans, they would say that and would be for deporting illegal immigrants.
Oh, crazy, right?
That is insane.
What you've done unto the least of these, you've done unto me, right?
It's
when
insane.
you have a stranger in your land, treat them like they live here, right?
It's possible. It's impossible to be a politician and a Christian.
Could I convert to Judaism?
You can, yeah.
I mean, y'all's Judaism.
No.
Why
You
not?
can, but you can because what we believe in is not a religion. It's a group of it's laws that was given to a race of people.
But isn't like if my understanding is that every other form of Judaism, I could go through a conversion process. It's in the Bible. It talks about the conversion process is to treat the converts better than the people that were born into the tree of Israel.
You called in when it talks about that don't treat a foreigner bad. It's like
that's another verse, but when they're talking about people that convert,
so that scripture right there is not talking about somebody who's of different ethnicity. It's like if I was to go right now and go to New York, I would be what? A foreigner in the hood.
Right.
But these are my people.
Okay, so you're saying it was still only for y'all's
because people was in
bloodline.
different lands.
Right.
So that's why I said the one who is homeborn. Like you was born in this land. I might have been born in Austin. Somebody come like back a couple years ago. They was mad that all these people from California. So man, all these people from California.
Dr. Yakub coming in, the co-guest. We're talking about Jews born in other lands now.
Jews born in
I asked them if white people could convert to Judaism, and right now it is a
No,
not their form of Judaism. Do you guys consider yourself Judaisms, or do you not use that term?
Judaism is just a religion.
Okay.
We Jews by ethnicity. It's like, think about Jews like we said we was Chinese.
Okay.
Right.
It's like if you was actually like, can I become Chinese? No.
No.
You can eat Chinese food.
Exactly.
But you guys
You
could
Chinese.
convert to my religion pretty quickly.
Well, anybody could convert to any religion. I've seen white Muslims before. You know what I mean? So
And if I could, like, we don't consider this is not a religion. This is like our culture.
Okay.
All right, so,
How do we feel about Chinese?
Chinese people, like in one sense, like this is how we feel about every race. We just want to be left alone.
Okay.
Right.
We don't condone violence on any race or nothing like that. We just feel like, man, our culture's the best culture.
Right.
Just like China right now, they believe they're the best country.
They're doing pretty good.
They like, man, we beating y'all in math, science. Y'all can't outdo us. That's how we feel. I think the issue comes with that since we're still in the United States of America, it seems kind of weird because we're supposed to be Americans because we don't have our own country.
What can a white person do to make it better? Because, like, if white people can't convert to Israelites, if I can't join the cause, what can I do to be a good white?
You can donate.
Donate.
That's a help.
That's a good camera right there. I like that camera. That's a good, that's a good mic right here, right?
One of these.
Yeah. Yeah, all this TV, this monitor right here, this be good. We probably, we could take this whole building because we need another building. But nah, for real though, like what white people do.
What's my future hold then? Am I just a hopeless
your
guy?
future- yeah,
do I
you-
hold no heaven? Do I hold no place in society?
No, you finally going to become black.
Go on.
You're gonna be in our society. White people are going to know how it feels to be black and Hispanic.
Nice try, fellas.
Like right now,
why'd you laugh at that?
they gonna feel how black and Hispanics are treated in this place. So hopefully, if they're not, racism doesn't exist.
Right.
Hey, as long as it wasn't like no slave trade or nothing like that, y'all be good. But
I just want
please.
to interrupt real quick. I just want to start off by saying, sorry. I'm sorry I made white people.
You made white people?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I get you.
Why you said that?
He's the father of the white race.
He's what is it? Yakub?
Yakub.
Dr. Yakub.
It's, doctor,
Oh
please.
my goodness, man.
Dr. Yakub.
Doctor. And
Big-headed
I can't
science.
apologize enough.
Evil scientist.
Oh, that's what the hat is?
I can't apologize.
Come on, y'all gotta get me up to speed, man. I don't really. So the hat is what is it?
I
You
gotta-
gotta explain it a little bit.
It's not a hat, it's my head.
Okay, yeah.
And this is where it all started.
Okay.
I made whites. I didn't realize I just had a big head and I didn't get any pussy.
Oh man.
So I thought, what if I made whites?
Mm.
And then, that'll show everybody.
Mm.
And
Didn't do you good either, huh? Didn't do you good at all, huh?
yeah, I'm here now and I'm seeing what I did
You
and
gotta be more careful on your inventions, man.
I fucked up.
But back to it though. White people, this is the crazy thing. This is gonna shock everyone. This is the craziest thing. We're more connected to white people than African people.
Go on. I like that. I like the way that sounds. I agree.
Respect.
Jacob,
I don't know anyone from Africa that's in my friend group. I know
but
multiple
Jacob,
Israelites.
If you go in the Bible, Jacob and Esau, right? We was in the womb together, and we hated each other so much, we was fighting in the womb. Imagine that. Before we even know how to eat, before we even know how to take a piss, we
Jacob
was
he
already
loved.
fighting.
Right.
Esau
Esau,
he hated, right? Talks. I think it's the first time that mentions God's hate in the Bible. I think so. I might be wrong though. I haven't thought about that in a long
Oh
time.
my goodness, man.
Methodists don't believe God hates. It's pretty sick. Also,
Really?
we have gay pastors and trans pastors.
So how you feel about that?
They say that's insane, dude. I swear to God, this is true. Every Sunday, my pastor goes up and she goes, "Hi, I'm Pastor Taylor." She, her.
She, her.
I swear to God, you would love it. You guys would have so much fun there.
Man, I don't know about that. I'm having fun, man. I'll be in there like. So let me ask you this. If I could. You bring up a scripture talking about Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. So you familiar with that verse?
Yeah, I'm a Christian. I love the Bible.
So
I read the Bible all the time.
how do your church interpret that scripture?
I would say, and I mean this in a
Okay.
fair way, y'all have an interpretation of the scripture that really wasn't popular until 1969. The interpretation that I follow was really popular in like the 1700s. So I think over time, based on the way that we understand the world, the way that we understand society, we just interpreted it in different ways. People call it negotiating with the text. I just think we have different negotiations. You know what I mean? And you guys would say we're true Bible believers, true Bible followers.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I know we are because Christ said, "Wide is the gate into destruction."
Right.
The Bible also said, "In that day will be many antichrists, many false prophets." Our belief is very small.
Right.
It's a very minute
Very
belief.
narrow. Yeah.
Very narrow.
Are there any other countries that have? I feel like Black Hebrew Israelites isn't the term you guys like.
No.
Nah, we
I
just
don't mean to
accept-
say it. to
No,
be
we
rude.
accept it because it's like that's what when you want to
Yeah.
go Google us.
But
That's
I'm
what
not-
you're going. Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a
yeah,
fucking dick.
Acceptable term.
We just say Israelites.
Israelites.
Yeah.
Just to delineate here, though, the Israelites that you guys would see eye to eye with. Are there any other countries that have street preachers?
Nah, I mean, you got to think about like this. If we have schools in different places, it would just be us teaching in those places.
Right.
So it's like a lot of places like Africa, we really don't go to Africa because the majority of Israelites are not in Africa.
Right.
Remember, Christ said, don't go into the way of the Gentiles, but go into the way of the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So we don't go into a lot of places where a lot of Israelites are at, but doesn't mean that Israelites don't dwell there.
Okay.
And so it's like saying, I wouldn't say Israelites are African, but you can have Israelites in Africa.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying?
Very.
So like, if I can't say Israelites are American because you have like 10 different ethnicities in America. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it on that. I mean, as far as our belief, it's really an ethnicity. So like the people who came out of Egypt, it wasn't like people who wanted to be believers. It was like, hey, y'all come with me, y'all my race of people. It's like, just like it's like China. I always mention Chinese people because it's not
Because they're the coolest race.
Well, not because it's not too personal. You could understand how Chinese people would feel, how they feel about their country.
It's also Malcolm X. That was his best example. He would use Chinese people every single time, especially when people talk about his last name X. He would say, if you met a Chinese man with the last name Smith, and everyone on TV would go, oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good
because
point.
Chinese people are the people that are the ones that America should really be worried about. You know what I mean?
Utopian society, let's say Jesus comes back or however your guys' apocalypse starts and we're building, an Israelite world. What is Chinese people's role? Are they the same as
They're gonna be
whites?
serving. No, they're gonna be over you.
What?
Yeah.
Chinese people are over white people?
Yeah.
Just one notch or like how
I don't
many?
know, man. I never thought about it that far, man. Who knows? Let's see.
If I have a Chinese
Depends.
boss, it will be just the same as this society now.
Yeah,
What's the
man.
difference?
That's crazy, ain't it? It's
I don't think
like,
it's normal.
man, it's like I'm in the kingdom of heaven and it's still hell. That's how it's gonna be for everybody else. Not me though. Like we played on, Lord willing, we plan on this being finally in heaven. Like we want, heaven is like, Christ said the kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom of heaven, you got to think about a society where these men who are ruling are finally righteous judges.
Okay.
They're people who enact God's laws and they don't have a respect of persons. And like even with white people or Chinese people or East Indians, we're not going to just be trying to take your daughters and rape them.
Thank you. Praise God, yeah.
Like, good night.
We're
Like,
not monsters.
We're not monsters,
Although, just to be clear, you are allowed to in this society if you wanted to.
No,
Oh, really?
nah,
Okay.
man.
No,
that's what I'm saying. You need people like that in charge. You need somebody in charge that's like, imagine like all the crimes that was committed to black people.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we still won't molest your daughters.
Right. We won't do the acts that
That
your
happened to,
fathers
yeah.
did.
It won't be crazy. We won't do that. Now, we would do what we allowed to do.
Which
so y'all would
is-
work. I don't know. I talked to some brothers, man. They say they're going to let them work for 23 hours. I only have 1 hour off, but he's going to stay 30 minutes away from his house.
Oh, that's tough.
That's a hard one, huh?
From can't see to can't see.
Yeah, man. Shoot, man. But hey, at least you're alive. I mean, it can't be worse than, I heard one thing. You know about Nat Turner. They talk about Nat Turner. They ate his body.
What do you guys think about fellas like John Brown?
Who's
Where
John Brown? You know
John
John Brown?
Brown was a anti-slave revolutionary. He was a Christian that believed that he should fight against slave owners.
Is John Brown the one who helped with the Underground Railroad?
He did. He actually
that's John Brown.
knew.
Y'all,
John Brown.
white people should look up to John
Yeah.
Brown.
You don't like John Brown?
No,
No,
he's
no,
the one who helped in the Underground.
look up to John
yeah,
Brown.
They should
Right,
look up to him.
Yeah, he's great.
He was killing white people too, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, slave owners.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Y'all should look up to John Brown, man. He should be. Y'all should take that white image of Jesus Christ. Y'all should throw it down and put up John Brown.
Yeah.
And it kind of rhymed a little bit.
Do you guys have a photo of Black Jesus in your guys' community? That's
Yeah,
like
man.
the.
Yeah, man.
I'd love to see the kind of agreed on jet Black Jesus if you guys have a photo, because you guys
yeah,
have
it
seen
looks like
our
you're
white
about to
Jesus.
pull
You
one
guys are
out.
familiar.
Oh yeah, man. Our Jesus, man. He is a scary being, man. Good night. We
Yeah.
got one. We got one in our school, man. It's like 10 feet tall.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We would love to come down and do something at y'all school.
Oh yeah, man. Y'all gotta do like some documentary, man. We've been really taking like the YouTube by storm. A lot of the brothers in New York, our school in New York, man. They did a lot of documentaries. They was on. Who was it on recently? Tyler Oliveira. What's his name? I don't know. I really don't be knowing too much of these people, but
Right.
he's about like 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Sick.
Yeah. So
Do you guys follow a lot of white culture, like white pop culture, anything like that?
what you mean,
Like white music, white movies, white comedy. I know you told me you like white comedians.
Oh yeah, that's on our school right there. So that's
That's so sick.
yeah,
You got to
yeah.
admit that's tight. Can you
Yeah,
show
man.
the camera?
Yeah, that's the depiction. If you go in the Book of Revelation, chapter 1, that's what he's
Is the
described
tattoo on his
as.
thigh?
No, he's got pants.
I don't know. Pretty sure in the Revelation he has a tattoo on his thigh.
Nah, it's just what you see right there. That's see how it has his when it
wait,
says it's
do
on
the
his
other
thigh,
camera.
on his
Uh-huh.
vesture. That's what you see right there.
That's so tight.
Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much.
if you go in the Book of Revelation, that's how I describe him, and I
Mm-hmm.
believe Daniel, the 10th chapter,
Right.
describes Christ like that, like his body
Mm-hmm.
being beryl, which was his garment.
Right.
So
When we had you guys on Bad News, there was a private investigator that reached out and said, hey, they are a hate group who's violent. And I know that legally you guys are considered a hate group, but I've looked it up, and I don't think a single ISUPK group has ever been involved in anything violent if it wasn't, someone attacked them first or something. There's videos of like guys in DC you guys have probably seen where they hold their ground or whatever, but they don't go crazy.
Oh, the DC. Captain Mashad.
And if y'all typically, want to win against white people, see us as like, a superior, not a superior race. What's lower? Inferior race. Why aren't y'all violent?
Wow, because that's not going to save people.
Right.
Like our power comes from God. Like the reason why I gotta know what we're doing is working because we're not violent and they still say we are violent.
Yeah.
We're a hate group. So whatever we're doing something good because what we're doing is just making sure that black people are better. We're making sure they're not violent. They're not in gangs. They're not doing drugs.
Right.
They're not sleeping with each other's wives.
You guys have a really successful prison ministry, right?
Yeah, man.
You guys have a massive prison. I think it's like one of the top 10 largest prison ministries in America, right?
Unlike Americans, and I say this as a whole, we really believe in the second chance. Jesus Christ believed in the second chance. America, they do not believe in the second chance at all.
If a gay man who was of the right bloodline said, hey, I can, hold off on being gay just to bang with you guys.
Goodness. People, when people always
has that happened before? Has anyone deconverted or decided to walk away from a homosexual lifestyle because it's against y'all's guidelines?
I wouldn't know, but like I said, when I said whosoever, like when people bring up people who are homosexuals, there's way worse people who did things that was homosexuals. If you might have somebody that probably just did something, and like you talk about people who grew up in the streets, like these people are the people who need a second chance. So when like you bring up John 3:16, whosoever, right?
Right, whosoever.
Whosoever. I think Americans got a little whosoever, like it's not whosoever to them. It's like, yeah, we'll accept that, but not that. And that's the thing too, because when they call us a hate group, when a child gets arrested, a black kid gets arrested, and they probably shoot him, that police officer 9 times out of 10 he's probably a Christian. When that judge go to sentence him for life, 9 times out of 10 he's a Christian. These are people who are Christians who believe in Jesus Christ, who believe in a second chance, but they putting judgment on people. They putting people underneath the cell. What about the second chance? So we just are people who actually say something and believe it.
Right.
Do you guys think that there should be any punishment on Earth? Where it's if someone does something wrong, you don't think they should be in prison or something?
There should be a punishment on Earth, but it should be no respect of persons.
Y'all wish you guys were dealing out the punishments.
Yes.
Okay.
And even because right now, like I mentioned before about the punishments need to happen, but it got to make sure that righteous people are doing it. Like Jesus Christ, when the Pharisees, Sadducees was in charge, they was stoning people, unaliving people. I say unalive, I'll be trying to.
Been on TikTok too much.
Yeah.
TikTok too much. Unaliving.
Not even my vocabulary now, but they was killing people, but they was doing the very exact same thing. That's why Christ said if he didn't come, there would be no cloak for their sin. So you need somebody who needs to stand up to the people who's getting away with different things. Like I think Joe Biden had this really hard knack for putting people in jail for smoking weed. I think his daughter came out that she smoked weed. Right. Oh, even when his son went to jail.
Yeah.
Right?
Hunter Biden did a little bit more than smoke weed. Yeah.
But he gets...
That's a good white boy. I think Hunter Biden's a really good example of a classic white boy. Where it's you're doing drugs, you're partying, you probably made some mistakes and did some bad stuff, but overall...
But he gets a second chance.
You're just trying to have a good... Dude, he's gotten a billion chances. Yeah, Hunter Biden has gotten so many chances and opportunities.
Oh my goodness, man. So we're even with Trump, man, the 34... I think, this is this is the hypocrisy in it. Trump... He has 34 convicted felonies, right? Now that makes people respect him. People like Trump because of that. Especially in our community, they're like, we finally got a real black president.
I've heard that a lot of black people like that he has.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Man, because of just, oh my goodness, ignorance.
Real talk.
It's ignorance. We think black people have been beaten down so bad. We think failures is what make you strong.
Right.
We think things like shooting somebody in the street for talking to your woman is strong now, or having felonies. If you ever get in a fight with somebody, they be like, I spent 10 years in jail. Imagine doing harming to people so bad where their triumphs are failures.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
And if I could, it's such a slap in the face because you can look at Donald Trump, a white man who get 34 felonies, and still become the president of the United States. Meanwhile, if you have one felony as a black man or a Hispanic man, you are not getting hired at
Can't even
Burger
work at
King.
the post office.
Post office pay good too.
Yeah.
Shout out Darius
Post
Bennett.
office is a good job, man.
And that
I
used to be a
remember I was
popular black
working at the
job.
post office. But even, man, good night, man. You had said, I lost my point I was gonna make with that, man. But oh my goodness, Donald Trump. Now, like, okay, right now, what's going on with women, right? A lot of women want to be respected, and they should get all their respect. But in one mouth, they want to be respected. Then a lot of white women voted for Donald Trump. When Donald Trump was what? Grabbing them by the box.
Yeah. He also had a
grabbing him by the
teen
box.
child pageant.
Oh, my
if
goodness.
if anyone on earth is involved in a teenage beauty pageant, fucking
Yeah, watch out for him.
out, dude. Bad news.
He said he would marry his daughter. I don't know if y'all seen that
Yeah, I
clip.
seen that,
He like,
yeah.
man, she's
Yeah,
fine.
she's pretty hot. Let's be honest.
But your father saying it is
That's
crazy,
just a
man.
that's just a misspeaking.
Misspeaking is
He
crazy. But he
misspoke,
also
dude.
too
He
did he
just
get
said
caught.
she's hot.
What's that porn star? Then he got caught with that porn star to pay her some money.
Yeah,
Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's some crazy, man. I seen one politician. He said this. He said, if you could afford $100 nails and $200 Jordans, my taxes shouldn't fund, what was it, your food stamps, right? Meanwhile, they want to support Donald Trump, and he's buying whores.
Yeah.
You see my point? It's just like anything we talk about, it could be some.
There's also like just that.
hypocrisy with it.
I mean, a lot of it's just like people have been so. The Cold War was real. We're so ingrained in propaganda that like we all live in different realities, different news sources, different social media feeds. So I'll talk to someone that says like I'm sick of our tax dollars going to waste. And I go, dude, the fucking Pentagon paid $1 billion to make an AI that knows who you want to fuck or something. Like get
Oh,
out
my
of here.
goodness.
Like
Man,
it's the
that's
Pentagon and all those fellas that are wasting our
You
money.
seen the thing with the was it Doge?
Doge, yeah.
They found out how much money was being sent to like crazy places. I don't know if it's real. Now they talk about like the money that's spent for condoms.
So that's fake, yeah.
And Sesame Street. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I was like, man, if this is real, it would show me that black people would never be taken care of here.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It would never be like if you have money. Say this was real, and they was literally spending money
Right.
for condoms in Sesame Street, and people always say, well, we're gonna get the money for reparations. It's like you already got the money, but you don't. It's like
Do you guys believe in reparations? Do you guys want
we want
financial
real
reparations?
Yeah.
You
We
guys,
want-
like, if the government said, "Hey, we'll take money back from the credit unions that own the slave ships. We'll take money back from the
At this
insurance
point, it's not good
companies."
enough.
No,
It's not good enough. We need just to be in white people's seat now.
and
Oh, sorry.
no, please.
I had a question. In an ideal future, what would be kind of the checks and balances of like the leaders, like you say, like ideally, right? It'd be black people having all the we'd be in the positions of power. Would it be the same? Would we have the same kind of like? Would we be like in a democracy, American democracy, or would we?
It
What
wouldn't
would
be no
what's
voting for
the?
the next leader? I tell you that.
It'd be no what?
Like
Oh,
no,
voting?
vote for the next leader. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have, like right now, America is divided. There wouldn't be no division.
Right.
It would be no, because Jesus Christ would be our leader. He'll be our king.
Okay.
Then you have the 12. Remember the Bible talks about the 12 disciples. Christ said, "Whosoever follow me in regeneration, you should sit upon 12 thrones, judging the nations of Israel." Right. So that's how our society is going to be. As far as how we deal with people and deal with issues, you got to really think about it as if we was in America today and everything that was handled correctly. It was no politicians taking money from the back end. Nothing like that. And as far as black people are going to just be the supreme class. It's going to be like my ideal society, I want to be where I know, this is how I know I have power. When white people say that black supremacy doesn't exist. I want them to say black supremacy doesn't exist, and we all will know that black supremacy exists. That's how I know I'm in
That's
power.
pretty funny, yeah.
That's how I know. That's how we are today.
That's pretty funny.
You know how many black people I debate who say white supremacy is not a thing?
Right.
They say white supremacy, systematic racism is not a thing. Now, when I hear white people say that about black people,
That's when you know you.
That's when I mean-
That's when you're in the dominant culture.
That's
That's
when
when,
I'm
it's
dominant.
so ingrained
That's
that
when
you're
it's
the
so
dominant
ingrained.
culture that
That's
the
when-
idea of black supremacy is laughable. That's really funny, man.
that's it, man.
Well, as far as like you say, white people can give money. I mean, I told you guys this last time we talked. There is another Black Israelite group. Israelite group in Austin that believes that Irish people are involved in the tribes of Israel.
Good night. That's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
it's insane.
That's insane.
How is that
That's it.
insane?
That's what
Irish
we said.
people suffered. Irish people went through
because-
slavery.
No, Irish-
people went through imperialism and
No,
colonialism.
because this is the thing. When we bring up the Irish,
Right.
I always bring
You
up the
try not to
Irish-
laugh so hard when I'm talking about this. It's so
But-
funny to me.
Because the Irish people, a lot of these
The brave Irish people, go
the
on.
Irish people, the indentured servants, right?
Indentured servants.
Right. Remember I brought up earlier about coining the, I don't know how to say it, like, they basically made the term white a thing.
that's right.
Right?
Coining.
Coined the phrase,
You
right?
said it, yeah.
Irish
So-
people weren't white. If you guys
Right,
don't
but
remember
listen-
that.
But listen.
Yeah,
now
guys,
these-
my dad remembers they post about it on Facebook a lot.
Right. But this now when they start becoming white, now where they work at? Majority of them.
Police departments,
Don't let me. Don't,
podcasting.
don't let black people start talking about the police.
Did Dr. Yakub invent Irish people in the same time that he invented all white people, or was there a little special bucket for him?
No, dude, I made straight up blonde whites, and then I made fucking Sydney Sweeney's. I made Chris
Damn, man.
Hemsworth's, and then honestly, you guys kind of took it a little too far.
Yeah,
Yeah,
took the whiteness overboard.
Who? The Irish?
I'm
whites-
100% Irish,
The whites
fellas.
took over my work.
Not to brag, I'm not
Well,
making it a
white
thing.
people.
But
You know, white people got different tribes in their race, right?
what's my tribe?
For sure.
Like the Jewish people, they like your chief tribe. They like the supremacy of white people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you
they-
mean the Jewish
Yeah.
what I would call Jewish
yeah,
outside
right.
of this? Okay.
Yeah, like the people in Israel, right? These are
They're
like
the chief tribe of
yeah,
whites.
they like the dukes. They Amalek, right?
Yeah.
They're the dukes
the
of
Dukes of Whites.
Yeah, they're the dukes of white. You see it, man. That's why white people hate Jewish people.
Right.
I see
That's
more.
your
I
boss.
see more white
Yeah.
people hate Jewish people.
Uh-huh.
They hate their
Yeah.
superior brother.
Right.
So like when you talk about like y'all being Irish, all white is white to us. Really because y'all all Esau, but y'all have different. Like some brothers are
But
doing
black
better.
isn't black to you guys. There's plenty of black people that aren't
no,
Israelites.
No. But white, when we say white ain't really a term because of like what people get confused is when people say white, we already know we're not talking about like. We mean like Caucasian, like European. When we say black, now it's like a total different thing. Like when we say black, we just talking about the Negroes here in America. But when white people say black, now they talking about Africans. Black people are not African because we have the same skin color doesn't make us the same people.
See, I say the same thing about Irish. I go, yeah, just because I'm Irish doesn't make me white.
Well, you
I'm
know, like
actually
Bob Marley, we would
part
say Bob
Israelite.
Marley's a white man.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, because we go by the seed of your father,
Right.
And his father was
White.
white.
really.
But then we have people who's be white like you and be an Israelite.
Yeah, that's Sam.
Yeah.
You guys met him. He's
Oh,
a white
yeah.
guy that
See?
is
He looks white, but
native.
he's- yeah. So
And
that's how it
how
goes.
do you guys suss that out? Like if you guys didn't know me, if we didn't already talk before, and I told you guys, oh, my dad's, Native American, how would you guys just allow me to join based on my good word?
Yeah. So
how
like
would you guys suss that out?
Oh my goodness, I'll be like, man, I would just talk about the evil crimes of white people.
Right.
I would just start blazing on everything. If you was wrong, that you would hate. Now, see, sometimes people come up in here and try to do that. Or we might see somebody on the street and talk about like, yeah, my father is black. And I'm like, yeah, man, because these dirty Africans, man. Like they just like, come on, man.
Right.
Like they be like, wait, hold up, man. Like, we should allow the Africans.
Yeah.
It's always a telltale.
Yeah.
Tell.
It's always something because one thing that everybody has is like a pride of where you come from, and once you just start getting into that part and just tearing it apart, it would be a telltale.
Do you consider Drake's son?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
See, he's a perfect example. Yep.
Right.
Drake's son is
Example of what?
Of being an Israelite,
Right.
but
Okay.
being looking white. Even Blake Griffin's son, right? He has a son.
Right.
Oh my goodness, these are people
Blake
like that.
Griffin.
Yeah.
Is there anyone outside of Drake's son in pop culture that could be an Israelite?
Yeah, I don't know too much about pop
Okay.
culture, but if your father's black, or your father's father is black, or whatever, all the 12 tribes we mentioned, then you're Israelite.
Let's say
Mm-hmm.
I have a child, and then that child is a woman, and she marries a
Israelite.
Israelite. Are their children good to go?
Yep.
And then because I'm that family, would I be in it all?
No, you wouldn't be Israelite, but you might just got lucky off of your daughter marrying. But
Let's
even
say-
even in our society though, this is the thing.
Uh-huh.
Like in today's society, people get rich like that. Like you talk about like people marrying into different races. There'll be a poor family who marry into like a rich
Right,
race,
Jewish.
right? But in our society, there's no race. I don't like using the term race mixing. It makes me seem such like a hate group.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what makes you guys seem like a hate
I know,
group,
right?
to be
But
fair.
man, you'd be surprised when we be talking about like, black people, black man, you need to go and lay with a black woman. We say you can't sleep with a white woman. They be like, oh man, y'all racist. So it's like that's why I say that. But in our society, that would never happen because that's against the laws of God. And when I say our society is God's society.
Yeah, you're talking about the kingdom of heaven on
The
earth.
kingdom of
right?
heaven,
Your
right.
guys' kingdom of heaven
Right.
on earth. And what should be the consequences in your guys' kingdom of heaven on earth for race mixers?
Oh my goodness. At this point in time, you'd probably be put to death.
Yeah.
Really?
Depending on the
bro.
sin.
That pussy's so good.
Depending on
fellas.
the sin, you get judgment for it.
Dude.
So that's God's judgment. That's not my idea.
So, sorry. In the future, so it would be actually like, are we talking Jesus actually returning, or are we saying like leading through? Okay, Jesus
Him
actually
returning.
being the king.
So the way the world is going,
I'd be a good president.
Yeah, the way the world's going to end, right?
Jesus be a good
This
president.
biblical prophecy. You ever heard somebody talk about the lake of fire?
Uh-huh.
The lake of fire in the Bible.
Gehenna.
Yeah, the practical thing is, like you talk about the valley of Jehoshaphat, Gog and Magog, the daughter of Babylon, the great whore who sit upon many waters. All these things are prophecies leading into the end of the world. The World War III.
Right.
They call them the last woe.
Right.
The third world's woe. That's what the Bible calls it.
Do you guys believe the end is nigh? Do you guys think
Oh,
in
yeah.
your guys' lifetime you're gonna see?
I think white people know that too now, right?
Yeah.
Really? Okay,
At
so
this point.
genuinely, you guys think while you're still alive, Jesus will come back?
Oh man, I pray to God, man.
Man, that is an exciting life. I mean, I've met apocalyptic Christians before, not in y'all's same line of thought, but I know people that believe that also believe that we're in the end times. And I mean, the amount of comfort and peace that must bring, knowing that it doesn't matter if I have good investments. It doesn't
like,
matter.
Man, even before, like we believe in regeneration, so we don't believe when you die you go to heaven or hell. Right. You go before the Lord for your judgment, and then when you come back on earth, that's why you might see people with messed up things. You know what people always say, like, how can God exist and a kid's born like this?
Yeah.
You guys think it's reincarnation and they're being punished for their former life?
Yes, that's
I
why,
did not know that.
That's why when Christ said, the disciples asked Christ,
Why was I rewarded with such a fucking banging body?
"Oh man, that's
I was John Brown. I was John Brown or something.
Right then, man. We're gonna see, man. He didn't kill no white people yet, so it probably not. You got to start lower than that. But anyway,
I have no intent, just so we're on record here, no intention of killing white or
Not yet.
black people, any type of race.
not
You're
yet.
safe by me, babe.
wait till you find out he's John Brown. He might just.
Yeah.
But look, but even with this,
Oh, we're at an hour? I have a gift for you guys.
a gift.
Candace, will you get our gift?
Oh my goodness, man.
We-
White man giving a gift is never good, man.
That's actually
Yeah.
pretty fair.
it ain't smallpox, is it?
Yeah. It's Doctor Yakub's blanket.
Oh,
It's
my-
Dr.
And I gotta apologize again for the whites guy. I can't apologize enough.
oh my God. I never really knew who's Dr. Yakub.
Yeah, like,
It's a Nation of Islam thing.
Oh,
That was kind
man.
of the joke, is like Nation of Islam.
Oh,
The Nation of Islam.
Man, the
thing.
Nation of Islam so crazy. Ain't like Muhammad, like the one they all referenced before the other Muhammad. He was like white.
yeah. What was that dude's name?
Okay, you ready for the gift?
We're ready for the
All right,
gift.
ready.
We wanted to present you guys
All right.
pre-apocalyptic, your first white slave
God, man.
Man.
for your choosing.
Let's see. Let's
I
see,
made him
man.
myself.
What's your skills you have?
I've been told I'm pretty good at making.
Talking to the mic, bitch.
Speak up, boy.
I've been told I'm pretty good at making an omelet.
Omelet. Oh no, man. Let me see. Can you
we
work?
need
Are you
more of that.
strong?
Uh,
Can you let me see? Do
I
some
think
push-ups.
emotionally.
Can you do some push-ups? Give me about like 20 of them.
20.
Yeah.
20.
You're gonna
20's a
kill
lot,
your white
bro.
slave on your first
40.
day.
This is what you call working.
You're already saying you've been a slave owner for one day.
Let the,
Get him on
don't let the
camera.
power get to your head, bro.
Dude,
on, man.
these are bosses now.
Man, I want. Who gave this gift to me? Can I take it home? Or is it what?
This is yours. He's
man.
yours to do whatever you want with.
Let me tell you something, JT. If you come in my
Might be John
plantation,
Brown.
Yeah.
he might be John Brown. JT, you come in my plantation, JT. You gonna be the highest of all whites.
I thought you would like him. I thought
Wait,
I
hold
think
up, JT.
I'd be a
Like,
housewife.
get him on camera. Oh, JT, no. I want a refund.
Yeah.
J-
He can be a housewife too. He's just like a goofy guy.
He sold you a lemon.
I would be so good in the house.
He's
No,
more of
no,
a
no.
housewife
it's
than
a
a field
lemon.
wife,
Nah,
to be fair.
man. Nah, man.
But you guys can call him whatever you want. Spin on him, you know.
Nah, man, I want a refund, man. You got your receipt?
You know this is most white people, right? You know that this is the general build of
That's
whites.
why you're gonna be the low class.
Because Chinese fellas are just doing
Look,
40 like this,
look, let me- what's his
practicing
name?
their pitch and smoking cigarettes.
What's your name?
What do you?
Whatever
You guys get to name him.
Man, I'm a polite slave master, man. I call
Right.
everybody by their name. What's your name, man?
It's Toby.
Toby? Okay, Toby. Toby, listen here, Toby. You gotta have more pride.
Right.
You gotta pick yourself up by the bootstraps, Toby. Come on, man. You gotta work hard for your race of people, man.
Right.
Everybody right now is looking at you and you embarrassing yourself in front of all your race of people. You gotta be better.
Right.
Stop being a victim, Toby.
You are such a good coach.
what I'm
You
saying.
honestly,
I'm
I was
good, right?
anti
I'm
the
good.
whole slavery thing, but when I see you coach this guy up, I'm like, you would be a good slave master. Just to be fair.
Oh, my
Just to
goodness.
be fair, you would be a good slave master. I can admit that.
And I'm ashamed of you, JT,
Why?
because you seen that Arby's tattoo on him,
Uh-huh.
and you still brung him here to me.
Arby's.
You don't like Arby's?
That's a brand.
He
What the
lost
hell
your
you
Arby's,
Arby's?
JT.
That's the
You don't
slave
like Arby's?
brand.
Nah, man.
Arby's has like roast beef.
They
That's
have the
hella
meats.
Jewish.
I've never heard
Bro,
nobody
Jews
say I'm
invented
Arby's.
pastrami.
I'm sorry. Should I keep doing push-ups or?
It's up to them.
You good, man? You on
You
on your
too.
break? You on your break? Go see your family. And
Go see your family.
oh no, man, we can't have no cigarettes in our kingdom.
You guys don't smoke cigarettes?
No, man.
Not even your
cigarette.
slaves? Dude, Chinese people are going to be pissed about that.
Oh no.
Dude, imagine Chinese people without a cigarette.
Yeah,
You
JT.
sure you fellas aren't hungry or you don't need
Yeah.
anything?
See, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you why white people the devil. Cause you brought me a low tier slave.
I didn't bring you up pretty.
Low tier.
What's the best white slave you could get? You want a buff one?
No, I need
You think
somebody-
you could wrangle a buff white guy?
Yeah, I need somebody, one of them Joe Rogan people, like one on steroids.
Well, here's the second gift. No, just kidding.
I need one of them. I need somebody who's respected. I need somebody. You should have brung somebody like who a good. You should go get Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Elon
Oh,
Musk,
he's
this guy would outpush up Elon Musk in a second.
No, he's
Toby
white
would make Elon Musk look like a little boy.
My goodness, man. Good night, man. See, I told you, even
He's
see,
need a
this
little
one-
encouragement, that's all.
look,
Yeah,
but
you
even
can
in
coach
our
him up,
ideal
right?
society- Even in our ideal society-
You would whip your slaves?
oh yeah.
What? Of course.
Christ said.
Why? Don't act like that's a crazy
hold on, hold on,
question.
hold on, hold on.
Don't act like me saying you would whip your slave.
Christ said this.
I think
Christ said that.
I think I figured why they don't like it.
He said,
I figured why the whites don't
look-
like it.
but ain't that just Christ said that we're gonna rule over the nations with a rod of iron.
Right.
Yeah, he did.
Like, look at him. He needs to get strong. He needs to be. We need to breed y'all correctly. Say he messed up creating them. We gonna make him better.
I fucked up. I
Yeah,
said
look-
I
look at-
apologize
look at
3
your
times.
creation. Look at
Yeah,
it.
he's
Like you couldn't make nothing better than that.
Half-assed.
It's insane.
I thought they'd
It's
be
insane.
better.
should put more work into it. Like he's
That's crazy, man.
I think if we bring you guys
I'm sorry
some
about the
raw
talk
clay
to
like
a-
Toby, you guys could build the perfect slave.
no, Toby.
Yeah, I believe in you guys. Well, I
like Toby, like you're like you don't like he really doesn't appreciate the gift he had.
Nah.
Like you came here, you look sad, like you gotta look better. You know what I'm saying?
You look
Are
Like
you
this-
saying turn that frown
Yeah,
upside down?
turn
You're in
that
my
frown
house now.
upside down, like come on, like.
Would
damn.
Toby take your guys' last name if he was your slave?
Oh, I never thought about that. I ain't put in Toby. He ain't. He's not even good enough to make me consider it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if somebody found, if Toby,
I can sing really
He can
good.
sing.
Do you want to belt one out for him? Do you guys want to hear him sing?
go ahead. Let me see.
Hit
it.
him.
Do you have any requests? Or?
Oh my goodness, you look like you know the.
Give me
the-
best tune.
That's amore.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
No,
That's
You don't think that?
amore.
so then this is what he's gonna do. He's gonna make all my other slaves sad.
Yeah.
I'll be fair.
You're supposed to
Toby
put-
would
like,
make your
singing.
slaves
You gotta
sad,
encourage the other
It's
slaves.
so
especially when they see him do push-ups. He's like, "This was your first slave."
To say goodbye
No, see, it's just stop, man.
to
It's stop, man.
yesterday.
His value is going down and down.
And it's not gonna be any suntan
See,
lotion.
look,
Yeah, come on, you can't. He
look.
kind of hit that a little bit.
Yeah, man.
He hit that
He
last.
kind
one.
of hit
tell you
that a
something.
little bit.
Listen, and this is the thing. This is the thing that white people going to get too. You going to get your stock up a little higher.
back again.
It's pretty bad.
I think you guys
should've
need to
picked
be a
one
little
you
more
knew.
gracious.
No, man, because you say you gave me a gift,
Yes.
and I knew it when
White
I
slave
said that.
curse.
I knew it. like this is
The white slaves are so bad.
Oh, he pushed him off on
That's
you.
what I'm saying.
Like a bad.
Like it's gonna come a time where he's gonna like right now. It's gonna become a time where he's gonna be begging to be on somebody's plantation.
Yeah.
You know, before when slavery ended, it was sharecropping. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, we gotta get Massa good. He don't appreciate his gift. He just look like he's just like he might just off himself or something.
He
man.
hasn't
like
even
crazy.
worked, and you
He's a
already
waste.
think he doesn't
How much-
appreciate
how
it
much
yet.
Okay, JT, let me ask you, how much he's worth?
To me, priceless. I think all children of God, priceless.
Priceless.
He's not a he's not a children of God though. He's my slave.
Fair enough. Okay, in this dynamic, you're right. I would say if I got my own.
He's like an ox.
Yeah, you should stand behind them. I don't want people to think we own him.
A
I
gift
No,
would be
no, you could like you
a
could
gift would be
sit-
more like an ox.
Yeah, sit right
like
there.
you know,
Just
he's
stand right
more like
there.
a
I would say
And you
he's
could-
absolutely a
and you
beast
could-
of burden.
and you could bow down.
100% a
rabbit
beast.
or something.
Hey, you can get a remote.
Why
You
is
get the
it there?
camera. Can your camera get on him? Because now you remember JT. When I said that people kiss our boots, right?
You do love white people kissing your
Let's
boots.
see if he's a good slave. You gonna kiss the boot?
It's your choice, man. I'm not the slave.
You gotta kiss the boot, buddy.
See, it's come on, man. Come on, there you go. You gotta kiss his brother boot right there. Kiss that brother boot. Man, yo, come on, chill up, man.
You
Chill
should
up.
know this is making him horny.
Oh my goodness, man.
You should know this is 100% making him horny.
Give me a hand, Toby.
wouldn't-
That is incredible, Toby. I've never seen anything like that
Job,
before.
I wouldn't mind a little kiss on my
Bump,
shoe
will
as
you
well.
dap him up?
Oh, hey, Toby.
I'd love a
whoa,
little.
Miles, what race is your dad?
Huh?
What
Oh,
race is your
Miles.
did,
Wait.
Dr. Yakub?
Okay, thank you. Dr. Yakub. My dad is black. He's one of the original black people.
All right, let's go. He's good.
This is what our society looks like, man.
I thought you were gonna say something else. Like, oh man,
Chinese.
That was,
Bob Marley.
it wasn't a.
Go ahead, right there, right there.
That was it. That
Now, I
was
ain't gonna lie,
I'm in character.
JT. He done showed me something. He might be over you in my society.
He might be over me?
Yeah.
You're telling
a
me that
good
it goes Chinese people, Toby, and then me?
Toby,
Yeah.
hey, Toby, don't worry about it, Toby. This ain't gonna happen, Toby. You did an honorable thing. You kissed the boots. You know who your slave
You get back
master
to
is.
work, white man.
And this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do.
You
You
go
gonna
back
be
to
in
work, white
charge-
man.
You're gonna be in charge of Toby. I'm not Toby. You're gonna be in charge of JT. So JT acts up.
The Chinese
I'm gonna give
guys.
you the whip.
The
You wanna whip
Chinese guy.
Yeah.
I would not
See
respond well to
how you
whipping.
boost his spirits up?
Yeah.
Don't let nobody tell me I'm not good.
You give
I
the
feel
whip
like-
to a Chinese guy who gives it to Toby
No.
to be.
I want the same race.
Dude,
doing.
if the Chinese get the whip, it's over for you guys.
You know what people say?
Dude,
You know they
if
say-
the
what they say,
Chinese get
black
the
people-
whip,
they say
dude,
black
fuck.
people had slaves.
Right.
They say black people were slave catchers. They say that crazy statement.
Yeah.
So then y'all gotta know how it feels. You're gonna be like, so when y'all say something, we're gonna be like, well, you know, white people was hitting other white people.
Right.
We need to be like that.
When
That
do
is
we?
good.
When do we?
Overseers.
When do we
It's gonna be the
start?
overseers.
When do we start being nice to him?
Being nice, you didn't think that was being nice?
No, I'm saying like so we do
You
we
don't think
do
that would be nice?
Look how
no
we were treated.
we do we
Hey,
I-
look,
that's what I'm
look.
saying, we do a white slavery, right? We
Look,
do
look.
white slavery, and then when do we, like, at what point do we get to the point of like, oh my god,
We're
can I
even.
touch your hair? When do we start?
That
When do we
never
start having?
But look, I
Your
think that
hair's
was,
so different.
I think-
You have Israelite kids
No, I'm
pretending to
talking-
be folk musicians.
I think.
Yeah, when do we
what
start-
happened right
I feel like
here
we turn
showed-
corny at some
showed
point, like
everybody our
them.
kindness. Because Toby's race of people did way worse than our people, and all Toby had to do was do 20 push-ups. He did 2, and he did not just go on anybody's tree.
He did do too, to
He
be fair.
didn't go on nobody's tree.
2.5.
He did like
We didn't take his children.
Thank you.
We didn't do none of that.
I don't have any kids.
You don't have any kids. Well, you know,
Legally, they would.
you know
be
that's all to
your
do
guys'.
when you up in there on the plantation. All you gotta do is have sex. So you gonna have kids.
I'm liking this.
Yeah, that's all.
good, actually.
You gonna be
Toby got the
working.
best job at the plantation just now.
Sounds awesome.
That's what you
Wait,
gonna
this
do.
is who you want your breeder to be?
Yeah, I don't know if you want that one, bro.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be to settle my debts, right? He's you know, you throw something in free.
Uh-huh.
That's be Toby.
Nice.
I throw you in for free.
Nice.
But Toby, I'm telling you right now, he's the highest ranking white man in the room.
Whoa. Jimmy's the strongest white
Jimmy's
guy
out.
in the room.
No, I'm saying highest ranking
Highest. In the Utopia.
because he kissed the boots.
Mm-hmm.
He showed it.
I'll be honest, I would have a hard time kissing the boots just because of the
I know
germs.
JT. I know.
If you showed up, I swear to God, if you showed up,
JT?
I mean this, with Clorox wipes and then cleaned your boot, I would do it for the video, 100%.
You don't
But
got Clorox wipes here?
No.
no. But
See JT.
nasty boots, like worldly.
It wasn't that bad.
Don't, Toby. He's so into you guys. He's so into being your slave.
Hey.
He's trying to get me to do your will.
Well, JT, you next, JT.
I actually had a deal with you. I wanted to offer this. If you wanted to do a jiu-jitsu match, the winner, if you win, I kiss your boots. And if I win,
Nah, I don't like that
you don't like that?
because you need to kiss my boots before.
From the pureness
Wait,
of my
wait,
heart.
what
Before I destroy you.
what if you win? Yeah.
What if I won? I would like you to say something like "I love white people" or something like "JT, you're one of us." You
I
can.
told you, like I'm like okay with jujitsu, JT. Like I'm really good at jujitsu.
Yeah, I know.
Like
You've been training like 3-4 years, right?
yeah, about 3 years. I took a break, you know. I told you because I tore my
Your
meniscus.
shoulder, yeah.
But I need you. I don't need you to do. I need you to kiss my boot before I harm you. I don't need it. I don't need to make you kiss my boot because I put you in some, you know, some heel hook or some ankle lock or some rear naked choke.
Omo
You know what I
Gogo
mean?
Plata.
Yeah, hit me with an omoplata.
Americana, you know, the simple jujitsu stuff.
Yes.
Or the saddle.
They call it the kingdom. They
call
call
it
it
the-
Judea-Kana instead.
yeah, all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean?
About to see the kingdom of heaven.
But you know, you gotta do that like that because I didn't do it to him. That's what it
true.
is, man.
Thank you.
And like you guys said earlier, you guys have never been violent. And I think that's a big misconception about, because there are other groups that have been violent, And every I hate saying Black Hebrew Israelite if you don't like that term. I feel so shitty saying
No,
that.
you good, man. People. That's how people. That's how people.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like
We
exonyms.
so
You know.
nonviolent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even care.
I
We
think
don't care, but
I think exonyms are typically mean. Like in the same way that like Eskimos don't like being called Eskimos. And if I was sitting across from an Eskimo, I wouldn't be like, you're an Eskimo. I'd be like, you're a fucking, what do they call them, Inuit person? Yeah, like I just think that's the same. You guys show me that same respect. You guys don't call me, honky or Edomite or anything like that. I don't want to, do the same thing to you by calling you a BHI if that's not how you guys self-identify.
we didn't really give ourselves.
We
didn't coin ourselves the term.
Yeah.
Like that's what other people who,
Yeah.
who hate us.
Well,
Like it almost says to say that Israelites aren't black. That's why.
Yeah.
we got to end this. We would like to say thank you for accepting the white slave. We appreciate it.
No, we still getting our refund.
Yeah, you will. Dr. Yakub, anything to finish out your thoughts or anything you guys have to say to Dr. Yakub before we get out of here?
Dr. Yakub, you gotta go take him and reverse engineer that.
Yeah, take him back to the
Yeah,
garage.
take him back to the garage, tune it up.
Give him
Pop
some
the
body
hood.
work.
Give him a couple credit cards. I need a couple credit cards. I need somebody who's got pretty decent money on him. Go make him go to. I need him to go to college. Let him go to college.
Okay.
You been to college before, Toby?
I sure would like to.
Yeah, go bring him to college. I need him to be well educated.
And
Yeah.
probably go to the gym. Get a gym
Yeah,
membership.
get a gym membership. and not Planet Fitness either. Not Planet Fitness. I need some like good gym membership.
Yeah,
like
like
make it a good gym
free
membership.
weights.
Sorry,
Get him a
buddy.
trainer, too.
You're going back to
Trainer.
Patmos.
Yeah, man. I need something like that, man.
Make Patmos great again.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's the show. Thanks for tuning to the Fart Locker. Thank you again. Will you guys say your names on the mic?
Gadai one. But it's short. People call me Gadai, so.
Nakwa.
Thank you guys again.
Yeah, man.
Check them out on the internet. We're gonna tag their photo or tag their Instagrams and YouTubes in the comment. Gadai does debates all the time
Oh,
where
yeah,
he
man.
dunks on white Christians
Yeah.
and some black Christians too.
Well, yeah, mostly I do it to the black Christians out of love. The white Christians, oh my goodness, I get real joy out of it.
It's better when it's not
It's
out
just
of love.
better. Like I got to first. I'm gonna just start opening my debates. Are you white? Are you black? I really don't be knowing that sometimes, but I'm just gonna start doing that because that's how I'm gonna deal with somebody. You know?
You do. That's
my
why I
little
ask the
joy.
same question before I talk to anyone too.
Yeah. See?
I go fill out the race. I'm gonna measure your skull. Then we'll have this
I gotta be
conversation.
doing it. I gotta be doing it now. I gotta be like, "What's your father?" Because sometimes people just be like, "I told you about people be looking white." And I can't just be trying to blaze on somebody who's my brother.
That's tough.
Chinese
Or
father.
I can't. Or he might look like a brother. And he might be white.
Is your dad
Like you was kind of
white?
shaky at first. I thought your father was gonna be white the way he answered that, right?
Right, yeah, he did.
He was
yeah.
like,
I think said it, yeah.
Well, I'm Dr. Yakub, and he said
Oh.
he said the wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
I gave.
oh,
a-
using character.
He's in character. Dr. Yakub's the character.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Man,
I can't
appreciate
thank you
y'all,
guys
man.
enough for being here.
Appreciate
Always
y'all.
a good time.
Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead.